good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, man. I am hype, and if you tuned into this video, you already know why. My dogs, my Thunder. Oh, my chain. I just got home from work, bro. I was too excited, bro. All I did was change my clothes, get up here to this video. My OKC Thunder have made a huge trade to bolster up that backcourt on the defensive end. We traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso, bro. Alex Caruso is on the OKC Thunder, bro. Bro, look at my face. Do I look happy? I'm happy as hell. Okay, oh my gosh, bro. I forget who. I watch so many basketball podcasts. I read a lot of articles. So I forget who drew up the trade. It may have been my dude Pierre from Numbers on the Board. At the deadline, somebody drew up a trade for Caruso to be sent over to OKC. It wasn't this exact trade because at the time Chicago was wanting picks for Alex Caruso. So it wasn't this exact trade. There were some picks in there, but the fact that we got this trade 1-for-1, we didn't have to give up any of our first round picks that we have for the next however many years. That it's honestly baffling. Is it the fact that Chicago values Josh Giddey that high, or did they undervalue Alex Caruso? Which in my mind, it doesn't really make sense that they would be undervaluing Caruso, seeing how he was just an all-time all-NBA defensive guard. And not to mention, they held on to him for 2 straight deadlines when they could have made trades to, get the team better. They held on to him for 2 straight deadlines. They did not get anything. Let me put it this way. Josh Giddey is a good player. He is yet to show us that he's great, especially on defense. He is a liability. He's a liability, and that's why he wasn't able to play in that Dallas Mavericks series. He averaged less than 10 points a game in less than 15. Obviously, you don't play a lot of minutes, you don't get a lot of points, but we couldn't have him on the floor because he can't shoot and he can't defend. He can go rebound. He can rebound the hell out the basketball. Trust me. He can rebound the hell out the basketball. He's a great passer. He just cannot score the ball. Even when he gets in the paint, he misses a lot of shots. He misses a lot of shots around the rim. So I don't know what the hell that the Chicago Bulls was thinking with this one, but hey, I'll take it. That's a finesse by Sam Presti if I ever seen one. And I've seen a lot of them. Like I said, we get one of the most coveted role players, bro, in Alex Caruso. Not only, bro, but I feel he will be a starter. He will be a starter next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You don't trade a starter for a bench player. That's just not how it goes. So it's going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, J-Dub, and Chet. That 5 is locking shit down. Then off our bench, we got Case and Wallace coming in too. Yo, I'm hyped. I am happy as hell, bro. I'm so happy, bro. Now, granted, Josh Giddey is still a young guy. He does have potential to make something better out of his career than what we've seen in OKC so far. But by comparison, bro, Alex Caruso is a much more valuable player for what we're trying to do. Obviously, it's not a win now championship move because our defense was solid in the playoffs. Our defense was pretty solid. Now we got better. We really needed offense. There was a lot of times where we did not score 100 points. As well as, it would if J-Dub wasn't having it going, if Chet wasn't having 15 points, the points were kind of sparse to come around. So it was really just a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander show. So yes, why this gets us better on the defensive end? Not, bro, but I will say, Alex Caruso had a career year shooting the basketball this past season, bro. So we get that same Alex Caruso, that is a fleece. That is a fleece. And I couldn't be happier about it, bro. He shot 41% on 3-pointers. He ranked 4th in steals in NBA last year. Shai was first. We got 2 top 4 defensive guards as far as, steals per game goes, bro. That shit is crazy. He was 2nd in defensive half-court matchups against 2024 NBA All-Stars player, trailing only his new Thunder teammate, Lou Dort. The addition that Caruso gives us, that we now have 3 of the more premier backcourt defending guards. Like I said, Caruso, Dort, and then Case and Wallace, bro. This is amazing. I'm so excited and happy for this trade that went down, bro. Caruso is on the last year of his deal coming into this year. He is eligible for a 4-year, $80 million contract 6 months from today. And we're keeping Caruso, bro. He's signing that contract. We will have Caruso for the next at least 3 years if they don't want to make a trade sometime down that line. I rushed home. I rushed home to get this video out, bro. I rushed home, absolutely. Not to mention, a big time story that we all kind of figured what was going to happen after Dan Hurley went back to UConn. JJ Reddick has finally agreed to become the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He is on a 4-year contract. Rob Pelinka offered it to him this morning, and JJ Reddick is already working on finding a staff to fit around him that suits him, more experience around himself. Rob Pelinka, this is all from Woj right now. Rob Pelinka became sold on Reddick's ability to connect with players and his basketball IQ, and believes surrounding him with an elite coaching staff will help to shorten the learning curve into his first coaching job. Obviously, you know what I mean? But I really, really love the way that JJ is able to connect with players, and his basketball IQ is top of the line. Top of the line, bro. JJ Reddick has some of the best basketball IQ in the game. But you can just see it from his podcast, not just with Bron, but when he talks to Tim Legler, when he's talking to Tommy Alter on his show as well, when he brings on these NBA players as guests, you see the connection that he does build with these players. And they have a lot of respect for him because of who he was at Duke and in his NBA career, the respect that JJ gets garnered. Obviously, a lot of that has gone away because these new age kids, they don't really know about it, JJ Reddick, but a lot of these dudes really respect JJ Reddick's mind. They respect what he brings to the table. And I feel like this could be a very, very good, not very, very good, but this could be a good opportunity for the Los Angeles Lakers to have, a great basketball mind back into the locker room, drawing up X's and O's and, piecing together something that actually works for the team. Granted, I will say it's kind of bad business because he does have that podcast with LeBron. So, if they continue that, the team, there will be some kind of, some kind of distance between him and I don't know. It just doesn't look really good, in my opinion. The optics doesn't look great, seeing how he does have that podcast with Bron. But they should not continue that podcast. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. They should not continue that shit, seeing how they are player and coach. Because, they're already friends, so there's really nothing you can do about it. He already has that, him and Bron are cool type of thing, so they don't, they can keep the podcast going. It is what it is. You just might you might rub the other players the wrong way. I don't know. Continuing on with this was this is from Woj. Pelinka's first conversation with Reddick came at the Chicago Draft Combine in mid-May, but Pelinka had a much longer visit with Dan Hurley there, and that set him exclusively on the path of pursuing the UConn coach, who eventually turned down an offer. So they held that spot for JJ Reddick for a while because they were hoping Dan Hurley would sign, but when Dan Hurley declined, JJ Reddick was still there as, the top guy outside of Dan Hurley. So, yeah, JJ Reddick is now the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Like I said, a lot of us already knew that was going to happen, so it's not that big of a surprise. In other news, there was a few things that came out this week. I've just kept it to myself for, to compile them all together in one video, so that's what this is. The Philadelphia 76ers, their interest in pursuing Paul George has significantly waned in recent days, and the franchise is expected to be aggressive elsewhere with its salary cap flexibility and draft capital leading into next week's NBA draft. So essentially means they're kind of off the Paul George train, which sucks because that would have been, oh my God, that would have been so nice having Paul George alongside Maxey and Joel Embiid. That would have been fire. But it looks like those talks are falling through, or their interest is falling through, and Paul George may be going back to the Los Angeles Clippers. What else we got in here, man? What else we got in here? Oh, yeah. The Detroit Pistons decided to fire their coach, Monty Williams, after one NBA season. I want to say they gave him a 5-year deal, about $80 million, something in that range, almost $100 million. He still has $65 million left on his contract. They owe him $65 million. I'll take that. Fire, bro. Fire me, bro. I'll take 65. Y'all still owe me 65 million. They about to be paying Monty Williams for the next 20 years, maybe, bro. It says new Pistons president of basketball operations, Trajan Langdon, who was hired a month ago, had been meeting regularly with Williams about the franchise's future, but the decision to dismiss Williams was directed from the ownership level with Tom Gores. The Pistons in the past 5 seasons have been pitiful. They have finished with a franchise record 68 losses last year. The struggles aren't new, however, they have the 3rd worst winning percentage in any 5-season span in NBA history, trailing 2 overlapping spans by the Vancouver Grizzlies. So Detroit has a 94 and 290 win-loss record over the past 5 seasons. Excuse me. For the season of 2019 to 2020, and then this past season, 2023 to 2024, they are 94 and 290. A win percentage of 24.245. So, I mean, Monty Williams is a stellar coach. If he can't do it, who the hell do y'all think is going to do it? That's where my brain is. Who do y'all think is going to come in there and be able to do that? As Monty couldn't. The man don't even cuss. So it's like, who do y'all really think is going to come in there and get these young boys into shape if Monty Williams couldn't do it? I don't know, but y'all owe that man a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money, bro. Moving on. All-star forward Pascal Siakam intends to sign a 4-year, $189.5 million maximum contract to stay with the Indiana Pacers. The president of basketball operations, Kevin Pritchard, and general manager Chad Buchanan presented the offer to Siakam and his agents on Tuesday, shortly after the NBA's new early contract rules allow for teams to begin negotiation contracts. Siakam plans to sign the deal once free agency starts on June 6th. He arrived in that blockbuster deal in January, and he played an immense part in the franchise's run to the Eastern Conference Finals. Pascal was very, very integral in that run, especially that back end of the regular season when Tyrese Halliburton was hurt. He really picked up his play and led them to where they needed to be. It says the Pacers will now have Halliburton and Siakam under contract through 2028 and 2029 respectively. Siakam's deal will rank 2nd in Pacers history to 5 years, $245 max extension signed by Halliburton last year. So he's the 2nd high player in Indiana Pacers franchise history, which is crazy. And then it says hot shot in Indiana. Despite his points per game dipping a bit from his time in Toronto, Pascal's shooting improved after he was traded to Indiana in January. So he played 39 games in Toronto. So essentially half the year was in Toronto, half the year was in Indiana. He averaged 22 points per game in Toronto. It dropped down to 21.3 in Indiana, so not a huge drop off whatsoever. His field goal percentage went up by 3 from 52 to 55, and his 3-point percentage went up by 7%. He was shooting 32% in Toronto. He was now up to 39% at the end of the regular season for Indiana. So, you know, that's amazing. Like he is finally fitting into a system as opposed to being looked at as the number 1 guy. Now, of course, he can still be the number 1 option scoring wise, but he's not expected to create his own shots because he has an amazing point guard in Tyrese Halliburton who can find him and set him up. Not to mention TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard are also very, very good passers. So he has guys around him that can find him for good shots. It said he became the 3rd player to average 35 points, 10 rebounds in each of his first 2 playoff games, joining Elgin Baylor in 61 and Wilt Chamberlain in 67. He scored 367 points in the 2024 playoffs, the most for a Pacers player since Paul George in 2014. It looked like they got him one, man. I think that is everything. Yeah, that's everything that I have, so I'm going to leave it there. The video was a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but it's all good, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all stay tuned in with your boy by subscribing. We are going to be locked in all what is this called? The off season. You're gonna be locked in all off season, man. So stay tuned by subscribing, liking the video, and yeah, as long as I'm not at work, let's say this: if I'm at work and something happens in the morning and I don't get off until in the evening time, y'all probably not gonna get a video. But if it happens mid-afternoon, I'm gonna come home and definitely drop me a video. I appreciate y'all though. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.